Okay, this is the video for doing alignment. Step number one is bring the car in, but you want to leave some space here. This is where we're going to put a plate, which usually stays here. And we're going to first do some sweeping, clean the surface first. Okay, next is to lay down the plates. We'll do the first one is, we move this one. That's a bad move. We need this one first. Yeah. So let me record this. When you face down, this tab is facing outwards, and you get to the front against the welds. Line them up as much as you can. Same time, this is where the wheel is going to come over, so you want to slide over a bit. Then you place the next plate on top of it. The holes are going to go through those bolts. Now it's set up. So do a double check on this thing. Looks like it's lined up pretty good. Or if you need to adjust, push it over a bit. And do the same thing for the other side. Okay, next step. If you notice, the tab is facing outwards on this side and tab is facing outwards on the other side. And now the next step will be bring the car up, and the front wheels will be better landing right in the middle of the rotating plate. Let's see how good that can be done here. Okay, come on in. Go, 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 go. A little bit, a little more. Go, go, go. Okay, stop. A little more. A little more. Stop. Okay, go back a tiny bit. Just a couple inch. Go a little bit. A little more. A little more. Okay, oh, stop. This one looks perfect on this side. And looks can you go back a tiny bit more as well? This side looks like not the best. Tiny more. Okay, good. Okay, just park right there. Okay, the next step is very important. Is usually we have the blocks over here. So we're gonna block the rear wheel. So we put one down here, one in the front. So when we roll the car, when we put it into neutral, it doesn't roll on us. Okay, time to jack it up. We're gonna turn on the computer, open it up, looking for the button. Computer starting, it's going to have it. And before we go all the way up, we're gonna put it in the neutral. Make sure when you go in neutral, you have those blocks blocking the car from sliding back. Now it's time you can jack it up. So the next step is actually putting on those heads. The smaller one in the front, larger ones on the back. So let's wait till. That's good enough. That's high enough. Okay, let's put on those heads right now. Okay, we're gonna extend it out. Make sure it goes into the groove. Yeah, close it down, keep turning it. Sometimes I hold it, I just spin it by the end of it. Yeah, just spin it. Getting close. When you're holding, yeah. Okay, when you push all the way in, start opening it up. So keep clamping. Then give a grip, like pull it back, see if you can pull it out. Okay, that's very good. That one's the one done. Then we'll move on to the next three. This is the computer software, what does it look like after it started. So just come on, mouse, go to the green one to OK it. Okay, to start is by clicking on this thing right there. So it's going to say to begin with a new alignment, and I say OK. Now it's time to pick. Hey Joseph, what year is this thing?
2013.
13. Okay, so go Kia. Yeah, let me find the K. You have 2013. And you said there was a Toronto. Here we go. It has the right height. It's supposed to measure in the beginning, but usually we skip that part. Okay, next one, if you have on incline or anything that you need to, additional weight you need to put down, we just don't have it. Okay, asking, do you want to continue? I say yes. Because we have all the information, we can just load it. If we don't have, we have to go to the Mitchell to copy those numbers and manually enter it. But now we can just basically go continue. Here is where you enter the customer's information. You can have the company name, address, first last name on these informations if you're really keen on fill that out on the sheet. But we can just keep going, okay, okay, and okay. Now it's time for these things to recognize where the laser beams are. To move it up and down, you need to hold the control and auto and then moving up and down. So on the left, auto control. Here is the down, I'm pressing down. And if you can see the screen, it's a little hard for me. This has already moved it down a bit. And still have two front ones not recognized because it's too high. Can you hold the phone? Yeah, make sure your finger's not in the screen. Then hold the control, auto, and the down. Until you see all four the rectangular plate in the system. Then you release the buttons. Now it says everything is recognized. Now if the green arrow means we should roll the car. Okay, you can take a pause here. Okay, now the time to roll it. When you roll it, you need to pay attention to what is the screen arrow. I don't know if you can see it on this way. It's only the up and down one is on. So when you stop the rolling, or the computer will tell you to stop rolling, is when you see this has 4 lights on. So now, we're gonna remove the back one by about 6 inches, because usually that's how much it rolls. And you just grab the rear wheels, let the car start to roll until you see the 4 lights are on. Here we go. No, wait. Because if you look at the computer screen, it's going to say stop and wait. And then it should start to say go forward. Does the screen says to go forward? Yes. Yeah, so now we're going to push it back to where it was. And wait till, again, the 4 arrows going to show up as well. Okay. Now I just move this thing back in there to block the car. And at the same time, okay, so that part is done. Did it point out any error? Sometimes it would tell you it's different amount of a rolling between left and right. So 2-3%, don't need to worry about that too much. What is happening is when you're rolling it, this plate down there is actually slidable, it's movable, so actually move with the wheel. It causes a percentage of a difference when it measured it. So you just need to ignore that. So we just go continue. Yeah, it's just telling you how to fix it. Okay, the next step is asking you to the steering check. So you have to turn all the way to the left until this red goes to this spot. Then the computer is going to tell you to turn right. It's going to go to the other side. Yeah, you need to go inside and start the vehicle. Same time, we have the steering wheel stopper for you. Okay, very good. So you can start the vehicle. And same thing, you can look at this arrow. Did you see it's only one red arrow on the left? So you keep turning until all 4 turns shows up. All 4 lights shows up. So now you start turning. Okay, good. It's yellow. Keep going a little more. Here you go. You stop because all 4 lights turned on. Okay, now to return it, the lights on the right is showing. What is that thing saying? Okay, go to the right a little bit. Here you go. Go to the right. Keep turning until you see all 4 lights lights up. What I meant is this. Here we go. It's all turned up. So you take a pause. Wait. Okay, return to the center. So it was showing go left until all 4 lights shows up. Are you in the middle? You passed the middle already. Go back to the middle. A little more. Okay. See, all 4 lights turns on. Now, I need to give you this. Is the wheels pretty much in the center? Okay, you can shut down the car. And I'll give you the steering wheel lock. Yeah, you can park now. You don't need to be neutral. Very good. And then I need to pass you this steering wheel lock. Okay. It's easier for you to get out first. Otherwise, you're gonna put it right in between your legs. That's. Yeah, just pull the bottom one out. Okay, now wheels are locked. Okay, so it should be some measurements turned out and telling us. So it's saying the vehicle is out of a spec. This time is asking, do you want to do the alignment? Of course we want to make sure it's aligned. Where's my mouse? So I go yes. What does that thing say? It's literally was showing these things in the specs of that. Do you have a back button? Let me take a pause right now. Okay, we just look at this green. The next thing, actually the green means it's good. So the rear 2 wheels, the toe is good. Actually right toe is a little bit bad. Right rear is a little off. But usually the rear axle is not adjustable. So if you go okay, by looking at this little model here, the rear wheels are showing green. That means that's the rear end. So in the rear end, this is the called the camber. This is the toe. Sorry, top one is the camber. The camber is way out. Left is in spec, right is not. The rear one is left is just out of a spec. The spec is a minimum 0, maximum 0.2. It's on the 0. Right is again 0.2 to 0 is on the -10. So it's out, but we can't really adjust it. The next thing, if you move on, click on OK. Yes, we did have the steering wheel lock. Okay, if you look at this little model here, is the green wheel in the front now. So that's the front end. So this one shows that a lot of things are out. But there's a saying in doing alignment. It's called set the toe and let it go. That means try not to mess up with the camber and the caster, because that can mess up a whole lot of things. But if it's an insurance inspection, or if this is something related to the accident and the insurance paying for it, or they need to bring everything back into spec, then you have the time to spend, then you can try to bring everything back into spec. But if in normal quick alignment, which you don't even need to provide a document, just do the toe is good enough. Okay, now just let's get ready to adjust its toe. So let's jack it up a little more. Okay, now the car is up in the sky. One thing shows weird is it doesn't have readings anymore. The reason why is the sensor cannot line up with all the mirrors up there. So we need to bring this thing up again. So I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to Control, Auto, and up. Still need more. Okay, Control, Auto, out. Okay, all screens are in. Now you have all the readings back in the screen again. So for this guy, this one is the steering rack, and this is the tie rod end. So you need to, there's a button or there's a nut right on here, you need to loosen up. And you can give it a try, see if it'll break. And if it does not, it's time to use some acetylene to torch it and heat it up, and then we can get a spin free. Okay, as we're working on the right front right now, so let's look at the right front. You can come here and double click on the right. You're in the 8.5 degrees, which is a huge, and spec was a 0.2 to Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, this is the caster. Actually, I don't even need to worry that much. Toe is what I worry the most. You're at the negative 7.5, so you're way too out. By the look of it, feels like it's turning out too much. So you need to bring it in and turn the nut inside, whatever can probably, because it's on the rear side, you're gonna loosen it to make it out, kick it out, to correct the wheel to look at it straight forward. And when you're doing the adjustment, you can actually see the numbers start to turn. Here we go, we start to see the numbers moving. So keep turning until the needle's in the green zone. Looks like it's already back in the spec right now, but give it bounce. Grab on the axle, grab on the suspension, give a yank. Up and down. I wish I can do a little more than that. And this will help settle the final settings. Okay, if it doesn't move, you can just tighten it up. Yeah, it's okay there. If it's in the green zone, which means the tire will not wear too fast. If it's outside in the red zone, that means the tire will start to wear faster than normal. Okay, so right front toe is done. Let's go to exit button. Then we go to the left front here. This one has even more, actually, negative 0.6. So this one's also pointing outwards a little bit. Just need to bring the front one inwards a tiny bit. So, just want to point out the design of this thing is McPherson style, which is the struts goes directly to the top of the like upper control arm is all one unit. There's no like adjusting capacity on this style of suspension. So even the casting and the camber angles are out. There's nothing you can do. It's not really adjustable. So in this case, you just have to explain to the customer that it's just not doable, or it's just not adjustable for its camber and caster. And the only thing we can do is to set the toe to the correct angle. Now we just finished the front side. When we go out, come on, go exit. Like I said earlier, these two, the cambers and the castings, those are not adjustable, so we're gonna have to just leave it as is. The next thing, when everything's all done, you just click on OK. It said is make sure the steering wheel is flat. Well, we're sure already because I already put a lock on it.
So the bottom one, top.
Yeah. Well, I already went to, so this is the giving you the data. Actually, I could have make a print earlier. When you need a print, yeah, this is the final reading. But if you need to make a print, click on the print button, and here we go. It's making everything, getting it ready. So this is going to turn out. That's the before, and that's the after. So by the look of it, it was off spec on the front on both toes, and it's in the green on both on afterwards. But for the rear axle, there's nothing we can do, not adjustable for the top ones. The top two, like this area, are the cambers and the cast. There's nothing we can do. So if you need a print, I think it's a print okay. Anything happens, the lights start to blink. So probably it's going to start printing. These things are a little old. So literally, the alignment is done here. The next thing to do is just lower the car. Yeah, press it in. No. You start to lower all the way to the ground, and then we can remove the heads. Oh, do you have air? Compressed air?
Then we need air.
Yeah, okay. We haven't turned on the compressed air. That was the issue. So as you can see, Joseph started taking everything off, and we have put them back. The small one on top, large one at the bottom. And I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with the printer because it's not printing. Before we finish, one important thing is to move these heads up as usual, left to right, control out and up. Okay, if you hit it touched, that's good. Okay, as the alignment is done, make sure you take out your steering lock, put it back in here, all the heads back in here. The laser heads are moved all the way to the up. And take out the blocks. Remember the two blocks was blocking the back wheel. Have you taken them out? And it's ready to go. And if you have a bigger job coming, then you can just roll the car out, drive the car out and remove those plates. Put those plates back into the bottom beside the batteries. And since we wasn't able to print it out, and I'm gonna just go cancel here. And that's all the things here. You can take a picture if you want, but if we just move on, because everything is already being removed, it's going to back to, well, okay, never mind, because we already removed the heads. Okay, now to turn off the computer, there's a quick button on the left bottom. You can just click on that. It's asking, do you want to shut down the computer? I say yes, and everything is going to shut down. And we still need to figure out the printer issues.